that the subsidized fertilizer was to be sold at Kenya shillings 2,000 per bag for planting fertilizer and top dressing fertilizer. However, no supporting documents were provided for audit to confirm that the fertilizer was sold at the recommended price of Kenya shillings 2,000 per bag or distributed to the farmers free of charge. In the circumstances, the county executive may have lost the public funds in respect of expected revenue from the sale of subsidized fertilizer. Thank you.
Governor, you may respond.
We're saying to enhance food security to all residents of the county, free farm inputs were issued local vulnerable farmers as provided in the attacked Bungoma County Agriculture Sector Policy issued in October 2023. Additionally, the management has submitted Bungoma County Agriculture Inputs and Service Support Bill 2024 to the County Assembly that provides a legal framework on distribution of farm inputs. Attached is a letter of submission of the bill to the County Assembly. Chair, you know, since my first term, we were subsidizing inputs to our farmers. Now, there was a proposal in the Finance Bill of 2023 that we sell to the farmers. On review, we realized it was going to cause a political problem, and my senator can bear me witness if we started selling. And when we proposed that to go back to the free subsidies that we were giving, the 2024 Finance Bill did not go through. So the farm inputs were given free of charge, and the lists are there of the beneficiaries for both fertilizer and the seeds. So it's a practice that we have been having since 2013 of subsidizing and giving free fertilizer or inputs to our farmers. Yes, Chair.
Governor, you have not addressed the County Finance Act of 2023 because that's a basis upon which the auditor has reached his conclusion.
And in fact, Chair, although the governor makes reference to those documents in his response, we don't have those documents here. I don't have the County Agriculture Sector Policy, which you have referenced as 17A. I do not have the bill. So perhaps maybe, unless it is just my copy that was...
No, it's not there. They're just placeholders.
Chair, we had shared the soft copy with the OAG.
Were you not aware you are coming to the Senate? If you've responded and brought the attention of the Senate to Appendix 17A and 17B, does it mean that we are just, we are not useful in this session? The OAG did their bit. They've done their audit. It is now in the hands of Parliament. That should never be an explanation brought before the Senate. Governor, you may need to guide your team.
Also, Chair, in my understanding of what the query was is that the OAG is telling us they don't know whether this fertilizer was given for free or sold. That you have to show something. You have to give something to show what happened to this fertilizer, because it's a lot of money. 56 plus 26, that's almost 82 million.
Through the chair, as Senator Sifuna gives his opinion, it's also prudent to find out. Government has been procuring cheap or affordable fertilizer to farmers across the country. Is what national government providing different from what we procure to give for free? And what informs us to procure what we have done and not tapping into the wide resource of government to import more at a cheaper price and give more to the people of Bungoma? Thank you.
Senator Cherargei?
In addition, let me pick it up from where the area senator has left. I thought, Governor, the government through National Subsidy Program on fertilizer, and you know he has more authority because he's also the chair of agriculture like you, is through National Cereals Produce Board. But when I see that you are using a local company, because we are paying 2,500 for subsidized. So does it mean they subsidize from 7,000 to 2,500? So does it mean, how do you procure on this? Number two, you have said there is a bill. Have you ascended it now into law, or is it still a bill? Then on the issue of the rejection, I think I've heard you say that the finance act of 2023 and 2024, you have just given us that there is a forwarding letter of a bill to the county assembly, but you have not given us an assentment, because you are the one who should ordinarily assent this finance bill into the act. So question one, this procurement from an independent estate of National Cereals and Produce Board. Number two, is this bill an act now? And number three, you assented to this bill fully aware that you had indicated that you wanted to subsidize and sell it at 2,000 to farmers. And then finally, Chair, this list of farmers on 45 wards, how many are they? Were you giving a household or individual farmer? You know, there is a difference between the household and individual farmer. And you saw what happens to the seedling story of Mandera, where we were being told everything that is planted across the Dawa River was provided for county. But when it came out, it was not direct beneficiary to the farmers. So is it to the households or individual farmers? And how many are they in this across 45 wards, Chair?
Okay.
Because
Governor, I think the point is made. Senator Wakoli, let's make them brief.
Just, and the list as requested or asked by Senator Cherargei of farmers, have you ever done a forensic look at the list to confirm that the lists that are being forwarded to you as beneficiaries are the true beneficiaries of the fertilizer, or they are conduits, at least just written for purposes of receiving fertilizer and benefiting somebody who is taking advantage of the process? Thank you.
Governor?
Thank you. I think to start with, we moved from maybe the last financial year, we bought from government to government at 2,000. So we didn't give to a private, after the audit was done, we didn't give now this time to a private supplier. It was government to government, National Cereals Board. The lists that we normally have vetting committees at all the ward, in all the wards, which includes the MCA, it includes the ward administrators, and all the other stakeholders who come up with a list of the beneficiaries, the vulnerable people. And we verify and confirm that those are vulnerable people, and people can even see it's normally public participation before the fertilizer is given out. So I think that list expected that the agriculture people should have forwarded the list. Okay, did you forward the list of the beneficiaries, because it should be there, and I'm sure that it's there. Why it was not provided for, I don't know. You can explain, Mani.
Yes.
If you allow me, Chair, at the time of audit, the list was reviewed, and that query was dropped. The component of failure to provide was dropped because the list was reviewed. So what remains is to authority to issue it for free.
No, we would want to get that assurance as a Senate, because the amounts involved, the 82 million, is approximately 41,000 bags. If you assume it's 2,000 per bag, it comes to about 41,000. Members, it is for us to make recommendations on what the governor must do, but the fact is there was a Finance Act of 2023 that required the fertilizer to be paid for. The fertilizer was not paid for.
To be sold.
Yes, to be sold at 2,000. That was an act of the county assembly. It is lawful, and I think what you are required to do was to abide by it, or if it's impractical, to amend it. So it was not amended, so the law stands.
So are you saying we made a mistake to give free fertilizer to vulnerable people of Bungoma?
Because you signed a law, and all the laws of the county are signed by the governor. You, Governor Lusaka, signed a law saying you will give out fertilizer at a subsidized rate of 2,000. You signed it. We're just asking you to abide by the law that you signed.
Can an executive order overrule.
You cannot overrule the county assembly through an executive order.
Okay.
Otherwise, Governor, there would be no need to bring a bill before the assembly. You should just have done it from the initial stages.
You have been the Speaker of the Senate, the upper house.
Of course,
and you know, if you were to go by executive orders, a lot of things would not have happened the way they happened in the past.
Anyway, I get your point, but we gave free fertilizer to our people. Maybe I told you when we took the other bill, the GNC issue came up. You remember even the national one failed. It will not take off, and we also became casualties of the same. But I understand we will amend so that we continue giving free fertilizer or free inputs to the vulnerable groups. Sure.
County Assembly, how do you feel when your laws are treated as suggestions that can be reversed by executive order?
And maybe as the MCA comes, they can also confirm whether they saw that fertilizer in their wards, because that's about 1,000 bags per ward.
It was 500 per ward.
I was using the chair's math. 41,000 bags divided by 45 wards.
No, what I'm telling you, Honorable Senator, is exactly what we gave. 21,900 benefited. Of course, it was 500 per ward times 45 wards in Bungoma.
Okay, we'll relate that to the numbers before us. Honorable Member?
Thank you, Chair. I confirm that actually the 45 wards, each ward was receiving 500 bags of 500 bags of top dresser fertilizer, and planting fertilizer also 500, and also seeds were given to the farmers. And in this regard, I want to also confirm that in regard to what Honorable Sifuna, Senator Sifuna has said, the fertilizer was given to specific farmers. Actually, when we are doing vetting, we don't do vetting in regard to the maybe families, but we look at the specific farmers. Then there are some things we look at, maybe if somebody has land or doesn't have land, to go utilize that using our village admins. So that is what actually happened.
Address yourself to the law that you passed.
In regard to the law that we passed at the assembly, actually the fertilizer was supposed to be sold at 2,000 shillings to the farmers, but eventually the tradition was there; it was being given for free. So
when you're writing the law, the tradition was not there.
No, it was there initially. They were giving it for free, but later on we passed the law at the assembly. But at the time of giving, after recruitment, it was given to the farmers. It was provided by the county government and given to the farmers for free.
Does it concern you that you have passed a law and the executive is not following the law?
Yes.
Or does it concern you that you have passed a law that is at odds with what the public needs?
Yes, it does, Honorable Chair, and that's why we really need to do that amendment, so that you see, this fertilizer is meant to benefit our farmers who are not able to sustain themselves, and it has really worked good for the people of Bungoma County. The only thing we need to do as an assembly is to get that amendment. Then we amend the law so that when we are giving fertilizer this year, we do it in accordance to the law, so that this query again doesn't appear.
Is it a case of us mourning more than the bereaved? Because it is their law that is offended, but it does not seem to be worried. But Senator Wakoli,
Thank you, Chair. Maybe you can, Honorable.
You can have a seat.
I wanted to ask this. When this law was made to pay 2,000 shillings, was public participation conducted so that the public approves that they must pay for services they are going to enjoy, so that it translated into pay, doing the same? And if you're going to reverse, are you going back to the public to say, forgive us for not doing what you wanted, allow us to amend so that you continue having it for free? Number two, In the Agriculture Committee, we have been pressing and requesting county governments to have a register of farmers, certified register of farmers, so that when you give subsidy fertilizers or any farm inputs, they must be in the database of the county government. Does the county government of Bungoma have a database of farmers so that at any click of a button, last year, the other year, Sen.Sifuna can key in Wanyonyi, Weporulu, Nasipondi, ID number